This man remained calm even when facing a gun-wielding robber. He just smiled faintly and handed over his money. However, the robber then set his sights on the cashier's ring. The woman explained that it was a family heirloom passed down from her mother, but the robber didn't care. As the situation began to escalate, McCall's gaze suddenly sharpened. Just as he was about to act, a little boy walked into the store. Not wanting to harm an innocent, McCall momentarily held back. Instead, he took off the cashier's ring and handed it to the robber. Satisfied with his loot, the robber left. What the robber didn't know was that McCall had been tracking him. He followed the robber closely and noted down his car's license plate. Later that night, after his shift, McCall took a hammer from the shelf. The next morning, the woman found her ring in the cash register. McCall, on the other hand, wiped the blood from the hammer and placed it back where it had been. As a top-tier special agent, McCall had grown weary of a life of killing, so he had gone into hiding, working as a stock clerk at a supermarket. But not long ago, his friend Terry had been severely beaten by gang members. In a fit of rage, McCall killed the gang leader in order to avenge Terry. The gang leader's younger brother, Teddy, received the news and returned to seek revenge. Teddy first found Terry's best friend. Fearing him, she revealed that McCall had visited Terry in the hospital. Teddy then accessed hotel security footage and found that McCall had indeed been at the hotel the day his brother died. Convinced that McCall was the one who killed his brother, the next day, Teddy arrived at McCall's house, posing as a police officer to test him. At first, McCall smiled and brushed him off. However, as their conversation deepened, McCall began to sense something was off. He realized the man in front of him was no ordinary cop. Teddy also confirmed that McCall was indeed the person he was looking for. The following day, McCall went to a restaurant for a meal. A repairman sat at the table across from him. McCall immediately saw through the repairman's disguise, noticing that his hands, which should have been covered in calluses from years of work, were completely smooth. Realizing he had been exposed, the repairman drew his weapon. McCall calmly glanced at his watch. In less than a minute, McCall had taken care of the repairman. He then used a knife to sabotage the restaurant's power and casually walked out, snapping several photos of Teddy, who was in a car outside, clearly declaring a war. McCall quickly left the scene. To figure out why Teddy was after him, McCall contacted an old agent friend to investigate Teddy's identity. Soon, his friend uncovered the truth. Teddy was a mercenary, a former soldier who had turned into a professional hitman. Moreover, he was the younger brother of the deceased gang leader. McCall immediately understood Teddy was here for revenge. At the same time, Teddy had tracked down McCall's supermarket job and had his men kidnap McCall's colleagues. He then called McCall, demanding that he show up at the supermarket within half an hour or else he would start a killing spree.